All right, this is Mark, your other chopstick guy, and today we are road tripping. And you notice I don't have Steve, the other chopstick guy. I actually have my two sons, Christopher and William, and his friend Cameron. And where are we off to, guys?
At Tule Lake.
Tule Lake, California. Whole bunch of stuff to do today. Are you guys excited? They're not that excited. It's early in the morning, but they do have their box of donuts.
Yeah,
and
they're not even passing it.
I have my large $1 iced tea from McDonald's, so I am happy. So come on with us and have some fun. All right, we have now gone through the town of Weed, and everybody has settled into being bored. Are you bored?
I'm reading Calvin and Hobbes.
Reading a little Calvin and Hobbes back there, just being bored. All right, so we made it to Camp Tule Lake. It sounds like a real pleasant spot, but it actually is the spot of the largest Japanese internment camp in the United States. There was over 120,000 prisoners throughout 10 camps. This was the largest. It started with about 11,000. It grew to about 19,000 prisoners. Then they started having trouble. They had to build a jail, and they said they had martial law invoked here. That was from, according to the sign, 1943 until 1946, or actually till about 1944, and then it was actually closed down, and 150 Italian prisoner of war were brought over, and they turned this into a POW camp. And then 800 German POWs were brought here, and they were put in this as a POW camp, and they were allowed to help the workers all around Tule Lake area, the farmers ranch their area. They said when the war was over, almost all of the Germans applied for citizenship and got it because they really enjoyed living in America. But this is the spot with a lot of history. All right, I am here at Tule Lake, California. I'm actually standing here by the lake, and it is really cool today. The air is totally still, so it's like glass out there you can see. Might be really difficult with this, but this part right here, see this edge? That's where the ice stops, and then you got this glassy water and these reflections. We've got beautiful clouds, so we're getting some photos right now of just some of the landscape stuff. We just ran into a nice big herd of deer. Probably saw about 30 deer and took some fun pictures of that, and watched them run across the road and across the field. So we're gonna start taking some pictures here, and looks like we're gonna throw some rocks also and break the ice. All right, so I'm at the entrance to our first cave. This is the Mushpot Cave. It's got lights inside, so if you're someone who's not really into exploring caves, this is a great one to get started at. It's a lot of fun. And now we're gonna head off to ones that aren't so, you know, what's the word? So put together so well. Okay, here we go, Will.
No.
Straight down the hole.
No.
I'm not doing that.
You're not going down? You can go down.
No, I'm
Go down backwards.
No, I'm not doing that.
We just came up from the Skull Cave, and there's our exit. We're all heading out. You can see everybody right there. This is like big enough to run a house through. The cave is so big right here. All right, so we're coming out of the Morel Cave right now. Check out that little shaft of light that's reflecting back there. How cool. The photographer in me is going, man, if I could just place somebody right in front of there, that'd be really cool. But instead, we just have to get out of here. We are at the Camby Cross. This is the place where General Camby, the only American general to be killed during the Indian Wars, was killed right here by Captain Jack. They met here with peace talks, and Captain Jack was talked into by his other warriors into assassinating General Camby. We look at it and we say, man, that's a terrible thing to assassinate under a white flag, but that was, they say, part of their war tradition, that if you kill the leader, then they would retreat, and he didn't want to, and he was kind of forced into doing it with a hidden weapon, and they, under the peace talks under a white flag, he assassinated General Camby right here, which then just led to the all-out war where they finally captured Captain Jack and killed him as well. So after months and months of a standoff in this desolate area right here, it all came to a head right here at Camby's Cross. This right here is a replica of the original cross that the cavalry made right after it happened. It says General Camby, USA, was murdered here by the Modocs, April 11th, 1873. All right, we are walking in Captain Jack's Stronghold. Here in Captain Jack's Stronghold,
Hi.
600
Hi.
cavalrymen, 600 people of the army were held off by about 60 Indians for 5 months inside this area right here. And they actually, you can still see where they built stone areas where they could hide behind to shoot from. But there was all these little channels throughout the lava that the Indians knew. The cavalry had much more difficult time moving through here without being killed by the Indians. So this is why it was a good place. And so let's check it out. You can see this is an area where you could defend very easily if you knew your way around.
Hi.
Wow, look at that stuff. Now you see why the Indians held them off. See, it looks like just a flat area, but the Indians had all these little cool spots like this cave down here. All right, so this was their main cave. You can see like all the smoke. See how it's all black on the ceiling from where they had their fires in here where they cook. And this is where Will is, Captain Will's stronghold. He's defending his cave from the onslaught of snowballs from up above. We are walking through the stronghold here. You can see it's like a little channel cut through here. We're coming up to the big lookout to where they could watch the cavalry coming and just hide in these spots and wait for them. And you can see right over here, we're going to get over to this little area here that's got a bunch of artifacts, and we're going to go take a look. There's like a totem here with a lot of trinkets on here. Different people bringing to this battleground. Again, this is where Modoc Indians held off the 600 cavalry for over 5 months. And now people bring things for whatever reason.
It's like that shoe tree.
Got to take risks in life. Sometimes you just got to run. Sometimes you got to run through the stronghold.
No.
Okay, so Will, all he's worried about is we're not at Taco Bell. We are at the Living Memorial Sculpture Garden. Check out these sculptures here. This one right here is the why group, I guess asking, you know, the idea of why war. There's a lot of really cool, all this stuff was made by a veteran that lives in the area. That's a sculptor. All these incredible metal sculptures. Let me see if we get up close. You see that's a leg right there. That's all metal and welded. Kind of a cool sculpture. Down this way is one of my favorites. I'll show you here in a second, which is the POW Memorial. So this is the sculpture for the POW MIA. And then people come and they leave stuff here. All wounded warriors, and it's a tribute to those that have been wounded. It's another one. This one is a statue memorial to all the nurses that have helped soldiers in battle. Here we are at the the Korean War Veterans Monument right there. And there's the broken sword on the 38th parallel. All right, so this one is called Coming Home, this giant statue. It's probably about 15 feet tall. I really love this one. You got Mount Shasta. See Mount Shasta right there in the background. So it's a beautiful spot here. If you ever get a chance to come out and look at the statues, I would highly recommend it. It's a beautiful spot. All right, so we've been traveling for about 11 hours now, almost home. We had to stop at a rest area to throw all of Christopher's garbage away because his side of the car was so completely filled with garbage. So I made him throw away his drinks because he has 3 drinks in here, partial drinks. So last stop, home.